Modern piracy isn't just a relic of the past. It's a deadly and sophisticated threat that lurks in the world's most critical maritime regions. Driven by desperation and cunning, today's pirates are a far cry from the romanticized buccaneers of old. They hijack ships, kidnap crews, and steal valuable cargo, leaving fear and chaos in their wake. Modern piracy flourishes in several global hotspots, particularly the waters around the Horn of Africa, Southeast Asia, and West Africa. These regions have become notorious for frequent and violent pirate activities, posing significant threats to international shipping and local economies. In the Horn of Africa, particularly off the coast of Somalia, piracy has become a serious problem. Somali pirates are notorious for their audacity, striking in the Gulf of Aden and the Indian Ocean. This area is a crucial route for global shipping, making it an attractive target for pirates seeking to capture large vessels and demand hefty ransoms. The collapse of Somalia's government in the early 1990s led to lawlessness and economic hardship, forcing many to turn to piracy as a means of survival. Southeast Asia, specifically the Strait of Malacca, sees its fair share of marauders drawn by its dense maritime traffic. This region's narrow waterways and heavy maritime traffic make it a lucrative target for pirates. The Strait of Malacca is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world, connecting the Indian Ocean with the Pacific Ocean. Its strategic importance and the high volume of vessels passing through make it an ideal hunting ground for modern pirates. Similarly, the Gulf of Guinea, off Nigeria and Benin, is another danger zone where pirate attacks are as common as they are brutal. The region's rich oil reserves make oil tankers prime targets for pirates, who can sell the stolen oil on the black market for significant profits. Political instability and high poverty rates in countries like Nigeria, Benin, and Togo contribute to the prevalence of piracy, as many individuals see it as their only option for economic survival. Modern pirates are far more sophisticated and better equipped than their historical counterparts. They typically use small, nimble boats to overtake larger vessels with alarming speed. Equipped with grappling hooks and ladders, they swarm aboard, taking hostages and plundering valuable goods like oil and electronics. These pirates are adept and well-equipped, using advanced technology to plan and execute their raids. Motherships, which are larger vessels supporting the smaller boats, extend their reach far from shore. Equipped with GPS, satellite phones, and other tech, these pirates coordinate their strikes with military precision. A common tactic involves using small, fast boats to approach and board larger vessels quickly. Pirates often disguise themselves as fishermen to avoid detection. Once they are close enough, they use grappling hooks and ladders to climb aboard. Armed with firearms and other weapons, they subdue the crew and take control of the ship. The crew is often held hostage while the pirates negotiate ransom payments with the ship's owners. In some cases, pirates use motherships to extend their range and increase the number of potential targets. These larger vessels can carry smaller speedboats and additional supplies, allowing pirates to operate further from shore and for longer periods. Motherships enable pirates to strike at vessels that might otherwise be out of reach, increasing the scope and scale of their operations. Economic hardship is the lifeblood of modern piracy. In regions where poverty and lawlessness prevail, piracy becomes a lifeline. Somali pirates, for instance, are often fishermen turned outlaws, forced into crime by the collapse of their country's government and the encroachment of illegal foreign fishing. The lack of economic opportunities and the need to provide for their families drive many to take up piracy. Yet, these pirates are not mere desperados. Many are cogs in larger crime syndicates that furnish them with the resources and intelligence needed to carry out high-stakes operations. These organized crime networks provide funding, equipment, and information about potential targets, making pirate operations more sophisticated and effective. The allure of vast riches outweighs the peril, as the potential rewards dwarf any legal means of income. The organized nature of modern piracy means that it is not just a problem for the regions directly affected. It is a global issue. The networks that support piracy often have connections to other forms of organized crime, such as drug trafficking, arms smuggling, and human trafficking. These connections make it difficult to combat piracy, as efforts to disrupt one part of the network can have far-reaching consequences. When not at sea, the lives of pirates are shrouded in a mix of fear and fascination. In Somalia, they return to coastal towns, greeted as both menaces and folk heroes. These towns often have little to offer in terms of legitimate economic opportunities, and the pirates' ill-gotten gains can provide a temporary boost to the local economy. In some cases, pirates use their earnings to support their families and invest in local businesses, further entrenching their status in the community. In Southeast Asia and West Africa, pirates meld into criminal networks, their activities masked by the shadows of poverty and instability. Despite their infamy, these pirates often live in squalor, trapped in a relentless cycle of crime and survival. The communities they return to are often plagued by the same issues that drove them to piracy in the first place: poverty, lack of education, and weak governance. The presence of pirates in these communities can have a destabilizing effect. Their activities can lead to increased violence and crime, as well as a breakdown in social order. In some cases, pirates use their influence to intimidate local officials and law enforcement, making it difficult to combat their activities effectively. The international community has marshaled an impressive arsenal to combat piracy. Naval forces from various nations patrol the most treacherous waters, while commercial ships adopt best management practices, like traveling at high speeds and using physical barriers. These naval patrols, such as those conducted by Combined Task Force 151, are tasked with protecting commercial shipping lanes and responding to pirate attacks. They often operate in high-risk areas, using advanced surveillance and reconnaissance techniques to detect and deter pirate activities. Commercial ships have also taken steps to protect themselves from pirate attacks. BMP guidelines recommend measures such as increasing speed, installing physical barriers like barbed wire and water cannons, and equipping ships with citadels, safe rooms, where crew members can take refuge during an attack. These measures can make it more difficult for pirates to board a ship and increase the chances of a successful defense. Legal frameworks are evolving, though slowly, to better prosecute captured pirates. Despite these efforts, piracy's economic and humanitarian toll is staggering. Shipping costs soar, insurance premiums spike, and global trade suffers delays. The human cost is even grimmer, with crew members facing torture and even death, while their families endure harrowing uncertainties. Prosecuting pirates presents a significant challenge. Many countries lack the legal frameworks necessary to effectively prosecute piracy, and jurisdictional issues can complicate the process. Additionally, the collapse of governance in regions like Somalia means that there are few local authorities capable of dealing with piracy. Piracy has significant economic and humanitarian impacts. It increases shipping costs, raises insurance premiums, and can delay global trade. The threat to the life and safety of sailors and their families is considerable. Reports of abuse and harsh conditions during captivity highlight the human cost of piracy. The psychological impact on kidnapped crew members and their families is profound and long-lasting. Piracy often intersects with other forms of criminal activity, including terrorism, posing broader security concerns. In some regions, piracy profits are used to fund terrorist activities, complicating anti-piracy efforts. Persistent piracy undermines regional security and economic stability, creating a vicious cycle of poverty and crime. Modern piracy is a dynamic and evolving menace that demands a multifaceted response. While international efforts have reduced its incidence, the root causes, poverty and instability, must be addressed for lasting solutions. Only by tackling these underlying issues can the world hope to quell the tide of piracy and restore security to the high seas. The fight against modern piracy requires a comprehensive approach that includes military, legal, and economic measures. International cooperation is essential, as piracy is a global problem that affects us all. By working together to improve security, strengthen legal frameworks, and address the underlying socio-economic conditions that drive individuals to piracy, we can create a safer and more stable world for everyone. For a deeper look into modern maritime piracy, we recommend watching the film Captain Phillips. This movie is based on a true story that explores the realities of piracy today. It follows Captain Richard Phillips and his crew as they face Somali pirates in perilous waters near Africa. The film vividly portrays the tense interactions between pirates and hostages, showing the economic struggles and harsh tactics involved in modern piracy. Captain Phillips gives a gripping depiction of the high-stakes drama at sea, revealing the broader impact piracy has on global security and maritime commerce. If you enjoyed, then be sure to like and subscribe for more informative videos.